Hey Raider Nation, welcome back to Raiders on Rumble. I'm Mike here with another video breaking down where I feel or what I see the offense looking like, what GM Telesco is walking into, and the defensive side of the ball seems a lot more solidified in my opinion, but there is some work to be done on the offensive side of the ball. In some places that we definitely have a lot of talent in places that matters, but we are lacking on the offensive line. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you could please like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Going into the off season, we essentially are missing our offensive line altogether. We have Colton Miller, he's there at left tackle. We have Parham, he still hasn't really made a jump. This will be his third year coming up, so hopefully he can take that year 3 leap here and really step up big time for us. He's a little small. He seemed to me when he filled in for James in the few games where James was hurt, the ball seemed to be snapped quicker, it got to the quarterback quicker. I feel like Parham's best position is going to be center, so if we could slide him over into center, pick up a couple guards either through the draft or through free agency or a combination thereof, I think we could really help solidify this offensive line and get us back to how we were when we back in 2016-17 era with Assembly, Penn, Jackson, Hudson, those type of players. So that's where I think we need to go because that's going to definitely help the quarterback. I'm not a fan of Aiden O'Connell being the starting quarterback, although I'd love for him to be our backup for 10, 15 years. I believe he's a darn good quarterback, but just not in this day and age. I think we do need somebody who has a little better pocket presence and who can move. So that said, let's go ahead and move on. The other returning offensive lineman we have would be Thayer Munford, and I believe he has played very well, especially considering he was a 7th round pick. I don't know if he's our long-term answer at right tackle, although I wish he was. To me, he seems more like a swing tackle because he did well filling in for Miller towards the end of the year there. So I think that could be a position for him, but I'd love for him to nail down that right tackle outright. But this year in the draft, especially where we're drafting at 13, if we don't make some kind of crazy move to go grab a quarterback and we stay pat, I think it would be an opportune time to grab the right tackle of the future there. I know Latham, J.C. Latham, he's played predominantly right tackle. Mims, I believe, from Georgia, he played right tackle. And I'll butcher the other guy's name, but he's from Oregon State, I want to say, Fuaga. He plays right tackle, and he would be my pick there at number 13. You got Colton, you got the guy I can't pronounce, manning the right tackle, bookending, and then you got Dylan in the middle there, and then we just have to figure out the guards. Jermaine Luminor is a free agent this year as well, and I know in a past video I did mention that he really enjoys playing for Pierce, and he went to bat for Pierce as well. So I'm wondering if we bring him back, if he'll actually move into guard. If we get him playing right guard, I think he'd be a damn good right guard in my opinion, but that's really neither here nor there. Still in the mix, who is a free agent, is Brandon Parker is still around. So he's been around ever since Colton got drafted. We picked him up in the 3rd round. I'd bring him back for depth. I know he seems to get hurt every year, but I saw an interview with him a couple weeks back, and seems like a great guy, and I'd love to bring him back in the building. He'll be cheap, and you never know, he could pop. and that could be our right tackle right there, or some type of a swing tackle as well. The other free agents we have is Andre James. I do not want him back. I don't think he progressed enough in order for us to keep him. And like I said, I believe that Dylan Parham will fill in just as well at center. Illuminor, like I just said, I wouldn't mind bringing him back at the right amount, especially if he's willing to play guard as well to help us out even further. And these are all offensive players. I've already gone over defense. So we've also got Austin Hooper is a free agent. I wouldn't mind bringing him back either. I'll get more into my next video or one of the next videos. I'll get more into who I see us bringing in, cap-wise, how that would fit and where it would make sense. I did like what Hooper brought to the table, depending on who the OC is. If we're going to be in 2 tight end sets, that type of thing. There's also a guy named Troutman who played with the Broncos, and he seems like a blocking tight end as well. Also wouldn't mind, we'll get into this in more depth, Pharaoh Brown, an old Raider, maybe from 7 years ago. Never did anything with us, but he was with New England last year. Didn't catch a lot of passes, but was on the field. So looks like he'd be a blocking tight end. I think that's what we need to go along with Mayer there. We also have wide receivers. We've only got Adams, Myers, Trey Tucker, and technically we still have Renfro, but I believe he's going to be cut. It's just a matter of if he's traded or cut. His time is limited. I don't believe he'll ever play another game in a Raider uniform. We do have a couple fringe guys as well, and DJ Turner and Wilkerson. I thought Wilkerson had a decent training camp and preseason, so maybe he sticks around. He is a little bit older. It looked like he was around 27, 28, so I don't know, but to get us to our 5 or 6 wide receivers, we might either draft a wide receiver or pick one up on the free agent market, or both. And DJ Turner, like I said, he's more of a special team guy, even though he's a wide receiver, but I really like him on special teams. He made some plays last year, and I think he's under contract, and he's definitely worth keeping around there. So yeah, so I definitely look for another tight end. Running backs, we really only have Zeus. We have Zeus, and we have Britton Brown, who's forever been on injured reserve out of UCLA from a couple years ago. Might have been drafted the same year as Zeus, actually. So I don't know if Brown actually gets into the mix this year. If we draft somebody, we probably should draft somebody, as I'm opposed to paying Josh Jacobs $8, $10, $12 million. Just too much for me. There's some cheaper options out there that would be better. Abdullah is going to be a free agent as well. I like Abdullah. I like what he brings to the table, but I think there are some players out there that are younger and cheaper that can bring the same. I guess it just depends on if he's veteran minimum or if there's a younger, quicker, better third down back that we could bring in as well to complement Zeus, kind of like the Charlie Garner, Tyrone Wheatley type situation. Van Roten, he's also a free agent. He's 34, 35, kind of had a career year, so with a new offensive line coach, I'd rather go young, pick up like a Robert Hunt or somebody along those lines, a free agent out there out of Miami. Jesper Horsted, he's a free agent. We could re-sign him or let him go. I'm sure we can replace him, not too hard. Jakob Johnson, fullback, depends on if we go with the fullback this year. We might not, so wouldn't need him. And let's see, Jordan Meredith, he is a free agent, but I believe we have rights to him. So I believe that that he'll be around. So technically, we have another offensive lineman there. So that's about it. So that's how we're looking on the offense. It looks like we need to fill 2 to 3 offensive line starters. Definitely could draft. I could see us drafting 2 in the draft here. The first pick with an offensive tackle who's played predominantly on the right side, and then get a guard or a center later on. Third or fourth round. Quarterback's interesting. We really only have O'Connell because all signs point to the fact that we're going to get rid of Hoyer and we're going to get rid of Jimmy G. I could see us being able to trade Jimmy G to the Falcons possibly, because I know that there's some type of a connection with the new offensive coordinator with the Falcons coming from McVay and Shanahan. And to be honest with you, in my opinion, almost every quarterback was trashed when they played with Josh McDaniels, unless your name was Tom Brady. Because look what he did to Aiden O'Connell in his first start. He got him essentially killed, sacked 7 times by Khalil Mack alone. So I don't really put a whole lot of stock in McDaniels quarterbacks. Let's see. So yeah, 2 to 3 starters on the offensive line. Wide receiver, I believe we should probably draft a wide receiver. Devontae, is getting older. I would try to draft one of those as well. I know we need help on the defensive side of the ball as well. So it's going to take some time, and we're going to need to make some good free agent moves, because there are some free agents out there to be had that I believe will definitely improve this team dramatically. Tight end, we kind of went over that. Probably going to need to we're probably going to need to pick up a tight end, whether that be bring Hooper back, or bring Troutman, or there's a few other guys we'll get into. And then the QB, excuse me, a couple different routes there. Obviously keep Aiden, try to draft someone high. My thought would be to draft someone like Joe Milton from Tennessee, who will probably go on the third day. Stash him around for a few years like Green Bay did with Love. But in the meantime, I would like to bring in Baker on a 3-year deal, because I believe he's a winner. I believe he's a Raider. I'm also not opposed to Gardner Minshew on a much lesser deal. So that being said, that's essentially where we're looking offensively and what Telesco has in store. Those are my thoughts on the situation. Let me know if you agree or you disagree. I'm all for discussion, and I know that I'm definitely not right about any of this, but this is how I feel, and this is how I feel we can get our team back to where we need to be. So I appreciate everybody. I hope everyone's doing well, and to the nation, just win, baby.